Suzanne, very warm welcome. Great to see you. Namaste Gasso. Annalise, hello. Madeline, Madalena, how you doing, Walter? How's it going? Great. I don't have my glasses on. That is Walter, yes. Very warm welcome, guys. You know what? It just occurred to me yesterday that this is 2 years. 2 years ago this week that we started doing these live Instagram meditations. Janet, hi, Andreas, lovely to see you. Madalena, yes. 2 years, I can't believe it. We're celebrating 2 years. Sarah, Bianca, very warm welcome, guys. Let's get settled. So, I don't know how many of these meditations we've done, but it must be quite a lot. So, not a lot's changed in what we do, has it? Yes, indeed, Suzanne. 2 years. I can't believe it. It's just like, it doesn't feel like that long. Anne, lovely to see you, my dear. Great big hug. We were just saying it's been 2 years we've been doing these Instagram meditations. Fantastic. Okay, breath. We're going to be focusing on breath today. So get settled into your nest. Get comfortable, or if you're walking, that's also fine. Headphones on. Fiona, good evening, welcome. And just bring your attention to the present moment. Where else? Where else? Let the mind go, let the thoughts go, the past, the future, and just relax into the moment. And it's one thing that I've been hearing from people is it's quite intense these times, to say the least, you know, and a lot of uncertainty and, you know, worrying about things that might happen, they might not happen. But what is the key to navigate through these intense times? And that, of course, is remaining grounded, present, and open. I mean, it's very essential in a lot of ways, because if we're not staying grounded, present, and open, and really connected to the aliveness of this moment, and getting swept away into imaginations and fear and anxiety and stress, then we're not going to function very well. And the world needs people who are functioning, you know, you spiritual warriors holding the light, keeping the home fires burning, keeping grounded, keeping things clear, balanced. And that's what we're going to focus on, because the best way to do that, and the most important aspect of the grounded, present, and being open practice, is the breath. Is being completely aware of the breath. And the reason that's important is because when we start to lose it, when we start to move into stress, the breathing changes. So by deepening our practice to have that connection to the breath, keeping the breath rhythmic, so it's not kind of becoming short, and then when the breath becomes short, what happens? The body gets tense, and then when the body gets tense, it starts to panic, something's wrong, and then we go into a whole cycle of mental, emotional, da-da-da-da, and the body thinks that, you know, I have to put all the adrenaline and all the stress hormones get flooding into the body, and they're not that healthy for you, you know. So having awareness of the breath, that's what we're going to be focusing on. So let's start now. Just, what's your breath like? So without trying to change anything, simply observing it and notice what happens. Yeah? So rather than me sort of giving you instructions about, you know, breathing in, breathing out, just observe, what is your breath doing right now? And then just observe it. Just simply observe. Yeah, so it's like resting in the part of you that's aware and observing the flow of your breath, and notice if it changes. Alright. Now specifically, notice what happens in each stage. Because we've only got about 15 minutes. So. Alright, so observing the breath, not trying to change anything, but with your conscious awareness of the breath, what happens when you breathe in? What happens when you breathe out? And just simply observe. Okay, and then holding your attention on the breath, not trying to change it, still keeping that observer position. And then while you're observing your breath, what else are you aware of? What else do you notice? Now it may simply be that you're just focused on your breath, and that's okay. But just to relax into that, resting in the observer, and just notice what else do you observe. And then just notice the point that is observing the content of your experience. What does that feel like? If you separate what's being observed to the observer, just bring your attention, just focusing on that part. What does the observer feel like? So it's like placing your attention on the part of you that is observing. So the observer kind of watching itself. Don't think about it too much, okay? The mind won't be able to comprehend it very well. But the part that's observing thoughts, feelings, listening, sensing, what does that part feel like? And relax there. You may feel it as a kind of like a core of energy, or a buzz, or a sense of I. Simply be open, having a great question. What does the observer feel like? And at the same time, what's your breath doing now? Has your breathing changed? Is it the same as it was 5 minutes ago? Is your body the same as it was 5 minutes ago? Has anything changed there? So really focusing on the part that's observing, not so much on what's being observed, but by rooting yourself in the observer, you may find that things expand, open up a little bit, or maybe a lot. But it's such an important key to being able to stay centered during times of uncertainty, stress, crisis. So staying with that flow, staying with the natural rhythm that you fall into, simply by observing the breath, you fall into a kind of a gentle gentle rhythm, like a drum beat, or like your heartbeat. You may even notice your heartbeat slows down a little bit as you become more relaxed, more present. So there's no efforting in being aware. So it's not a doing, it's not a concentration, not trying to be present. Simply be present. And then bringing your focus, holding your focus there. Your mind may take you off here, there. Thoughts are going to be there, and that's okay. But just bringing your focus back to what you're aware of right now. What's your breath doing? Is your body relaxed? Just making that inquiry into the aliveness of this moment. Being really connected to it. And then with each breath, starting to relax more deeply into that space, into this observer part. And just letting go into it. It's like when you fall asleep, you don't effort the sleep, you don't try to fall asleep. It's the same with meditation. When you're moving into meditation, you're not trying to meditate, you're letting go into it. And so bringing your focus, your attention to the breath, to the body, is like an anchor, it's a tool to help you stay present. But then rooting your focus on the part that is observing the breath, observing the body, observing thoughts. What does that feel like? And just falling into it, being curious, being open. And observing as one moment flows into the next, each moment has its own fragrance, its own colour, its own quality. The observer you'll observe stays constant, doesn't change much. You maybe feel it a little bit more intensely, more alert. You may feel it relax a bit, go soft, maybe more dreamlike. But staying rooted in the observer is a fairly constant flow. Doesn't happen in the past or the future, it's just now. So just staying that, relaxing in the part of you that is aware. And then also very important in staying calm and centered is not to get involved in judgments, criticisms, complaining, controlling, all these tactics of the ego. And it's so easy to do that, which is why it's so important to start training in staying open, non-judgmental, without any resistance to what's happening. What is the reality of here and now is simply what is here and now. It doesn't serve to go off in a complaining about it, or it's not my fault, or blaming somebody, and this is what you're experiencing. Accept that. And from that moment of acceptance, you empower yourself. So whatever situation you're facing will become a lot easier. And the reason it will be easier is because your mind's going to be more clear, less stressed. So just spend another minute or two resting in the stillness of the observer, resting in that silence. And being absolutely aware of what's your breath doing. Just flow with the silence. Just hold that space. Okay. So always be aware of your breath. Keep that constant flow, that rhythm. You'll never get stressed. Thank you so much for sharing your presence and your open hearts. Lovely to see you. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Madalena. Thank you, Walter. A little bit different today, just playing around with things, but I think it's an interesting approach to the meditation. Let me know in the comments below if you like it. Oh, thank you, sir. That's very, very nice. Nice to hear. I'm experimenting. 2-year anniversary. I thought I should do something new, you know. Thank you, Andreas. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Bianca. Namaste. Yes, lovely to see you, Annalise. It's, of course, beautiful to be together. Always the virtual sanctuary. Stay connected. So important. I'm going to be talking more about that. I can't chat now, but I've got some ideas for this, community, basically. Namaste, Gaso. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next session.